on the negative effects of Greek life. So I want to start off by reading parts of the federal definition of a gang. And this is used by the Department of Justice and the Department of Homeland Security. So, according to them, a gang is an association of 3 or more individuals who identify themselves by adopting a group identity. So they can do this by having a common name, a slogan, an identifying sign, symbol, etc. The gang's purpose is to engage in criminal activity, which uses violence and intimidation to further its criminal objectives. This gang also employs rules for joining and operating within the association, so they may be required to meet on a regular basis during the week, may seek to exercise control over a particular geographic region or location, and may even have an identifiable structure. So does this sound familiar to a common college association? And actually it does, and it's Greek life. They both have a distinguishable identity. They both have important signs and symbols. They both have initiations for new members. They both claim property as their own. And because of this, Greek life has very negative effects on a college student's life, such as lower academic performance, emotional damage and physical damage, and deadly hazing tactics. So in order to fully understand the negatives of Greek life, you have to understand those 3 things. So the first one, it is important, and it is proven lower academic performance. There's multiple studies found on the databases that have shown that the average GPA and SAT score is lower for a Greek student than it is a non-Greek student. And I could go on and on about reading facts and statistics about why that's proven and how it's proven. But I think that the true reality of the negatives of Greek life is discovered beyond the data and beyond the statistics. So I want to move into the second important thing to know, and it's just about the emotional abuse and pressure and the physical harm, which I talked about earlier. So the information that I will be telling you is from a personal friend of mine who went to Miami of Ohio and Oxford, which is a huge Greek life school. And these are all realities and details from his life that he just experienced this past semester, which actually caused him to leave the college early because of this. And so he told me numerous details about abuse and pressure that he felt on a daily basis when pledging to his fraternity. He said over and over pledges were told that they were worthless, and they were pushed to the lowest of the low and told they were at the bottom of the totem pole, which was really emotionally draining on him. And every action they did was wrong. Even if morally it was right, they were always told that it was wrong, which was just part of their initiation for absolutely no reason. Also, the pledges had a lot of stress and lost a healthy mental mindset. They lost weight. They were forced to do late night workouts past like 1 and 2 in the morning. They were woken up to go do workouts. They had eating challenges with repulsive things that they were forced to eat, and if they didn't, they would not be allowed into the fraternity. If they saw one of the active brothers on campus, they would be forced to run errands from them, do different things for them, clean their rooms, do their homework, and if it wasn't done by a certain time, they were punished. They were physically punished for also not attending socials on weeknights with some of the sororities and other fraternities. So if they did not attend a mandatory event, they would be beaten. And through all of this, they were expected to maintain their homework and their GPA at a certain level. So as you can tell, that's all incredibly emotionally and physically draining. And that's something that happens not only just at Miami of Ohio, but at every single college that has Greek life, pursues things like this, which is incredibly hard on their well-being. And then finally, the last thing that I want to talk about is alcohol and just general hazing, which usually has to do with alcohol. And this is something that really hits home for me. There have been a lot of deaths amongst the college culture with hazing. As of February 12th, 2010, the number of hazing, induced death is 96, and 90 of those were boys, 6 were girls, and 82% of those deaths were because of alcohol. So I wanted to tell you a story about a friend named David who went to Northern Illinois University last year, and he actually was killed as a result of hazing in his fraternity. So I wanted to share his story with you. So it was during his pledging season, and it was a thing called Mom and Dad's Night, which is when they were revealed to them who was their big dad and their big mom, who were other Greek members. And during this night, all of the pledges, I believe there was 19 of them, got together and split up into 4 different rooms. And each room they were asked different questions about their history, maybe past sexual experiences, some things that could be very uncomfortable. And while they were in the room being interviewed by these big moms and dads, they were forced to drink a cup and a half of vodka. So 4 rooms of that makes a lot of vodka, a really unhealthy amount. And so each of the pledges had to go through with this. And once they were done, most of them were passed out, and they were told to put them in rooms with their head tipped sideways, so if they vomited, they wouldn't choke on it. And then, you know, the people in charge of these, this fraternity and some sororities were there as well, got a little worried because some of them started to really look sick and told all of the members to delete all photos and videos of the pledges during the night. And they decided not to call 911 because they were scared they were going to get in trouble for these hazing practices, which are illegal in many, many states. So, but that ended up to be a very bad decision because David was killed that night of alcohol poisoning, and he ended up choking on his vomit, and also his organs just couldn't take. He had 5 times the amount of the legal limit, and they said that his face was purple. Once they made the 911 call and said he was dead, yeah, they actually described his physical appearance, which was really heart-wrenching. So after looking at all 3 of these things, you know, it's really sad to see that our Greek life, which is so popular, has such devastating effects, and I truly don't think that there is much differences between gangs and Greek life. So thank you very much.